which was initially started as a global coalition of leading game studios, publishers, and industry leaders coming together to help bring new announcements, gameplay trailers, and reveals from studios of all sizes direct to enthusiasts worldwide. And the tradition continues this year with two showcases where we are having during this showcase season. Check out our schedule right here for this week's event and next. There it is. Today we will start with a wide range of games and then connect with our friends in Japan for some Bit Summit picks and end the day with our Black Voices in Gaming post-show. Before we get started, we have to give a huge shout out to our sponsors: PlayStation, Xbox, Kickstarter, Razer, Astro Gaming, our fellow devs and publishers, Two Awesome Studio, Akupara Games, All In Games, Good Shepherd, Humble Games, Goblin Studio, Graffiti Games, Head Up, Hype Train Digital, Neon Doctrine, Raw Fury, Tiny Build, Thunderful, and of course, Whitethorn Games.
That was a mouthful.
It was a lot, and there was a lot of really good pauses.
What are we transmuting this time?
What is poppin', everyone? Welcome to day 2 of the Guerilla Collective 2. I'm so happy to be here. I'm your host, Justin Woodward, co-founder of The Mix, the Media Indie Exchange, an indie game team in Terabang Entertainment. I am with my co-host and beautiful friend, Alex Wilmer.
Oh, you're beautiful, Justin.
What's happening?
I'm thrilled to be back for day 2 of the Guerilla Collective. So many great games on day 1. I'm very excited to see what we have in store for day 2.
So much good stuff. Last week we flexed on you with some dope games from Neon Doctrine, saved some cuties in the Eternal Cylinder, and showcased some up-and-coming games from Bit Summit, as well as brought diversity to the mix, pun intended, with black voices in gaming. The Guerilla Collective is a grassroots movement, funded and supported by devs and close partners down for the cause. It was initially started as a global coalition of leading game studios, publishers, and industry leaders coming together to help bring new announcements, gameplay, and reveals from studios of all sizes direct to game enthusiasts, all of you guys worldwide. We will continue the movement today, starting with a few announcements, exclusives, and premieres, and then connect with our friends at Wholesome Direct to share the latest and greatest cozy games that will give you the warm and fuzzies all over your body. Before we get started, though, we have to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, and this is quite a mouthful. Shout outs to Good Shepherd, Humble Games, Tiny Build, PlayStation, Xbox, Kickstarter, Razer, Astro Gaming, our fellow devs and publishers, Two Awesome Studio, Akupara Games, All In Games, Goblin Studio, Graffiti Games, Head Up, Hype Train Digital, Neon Doctrine, Raw Fury, Thunderful, and White Thorn Games.
Good job.
I did it.
And we've also teamed up with Valve to showcase the games on Steam in order to support these devs. So be sure to check out the Guerilla Collective event page on Steam, where you can learn more about these games, buy the games that are available now, and add the games to your wish lists for games that are not yet out. So check out Steam event page, which is on the Guerilla Collective website, guerillacollective.com. I barely made it through that.
It was good. Shout out to our broadcasting partners for supporting and hosting the stream. Twitch, Steam, IGN, and GameSpot. If it wasn't for your guys' help, this would not have been possible. But enough lip smacking and yakking. Let's get started with a few brand new exclusive indie titles and an update from a game that we're all looking forward to checking out. I know you can't wait. Can you?
Nope.
Definitely not. Let's go.
Hi everyone, I'm Gina, Community Manager at Lintheworks. We are so excited to be able to show you this gameplay sneak peek of Aragami 2, our second game, arriving September 17th on PC, Xbox One and Series, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Aragami 2 is a third-person stealth game where you play as an assassin with the power to control the shadows. As part of your clan, you'll have to fight the invader armies to protect your people and to find a cure to the evil that afflicts you. The main pillars of Aragami 2 are stealth in its core, all new combat mechanics and a robust co-op multiplayer system. This goes along with a newly designed character progression, customization, and a wide variety of abilities and shadow powers, so each player can live this new story in their own way. Stealth is the heart of Aragami 2, and we wanted the player to actually feel like a ninja, to be fast and agile, to use the environment in its favor, and the shadow powers to feel more organic. Now you can navigate through the map in a more fast and responsive way. You can double jump, you can use dash and shadow leap while in the air, you can hold on the walls and ledges. The whole experience of character movement is fun and gratifying. We also introduced special stealth covers, so now the character can interact with the special props, like tall grass, bushes and other vision occluding areas, in order to acquire special stealth behaviors and permitting contextual kills and KOs. As for the shadow powers, we maintained some of the original ones and added a bunch more, as well as abilities and items. Let's now check out some combat. Since Aragami 2 is a stealth game, we challenge ourselves to create a combat system based on supernatural ninja skills, which also encourages stealth over brute force. We thought the best way to achieve this was to give our character agile and skillful movement, which empowers subterfuge and stealth assault instead of a lot of strength, and also reinforcing the feeling of being outnumbered by the enemy. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we hope to have you embarking on this journey on September 17th.
Hello, my name's Josh Sullivan and I'm a designer on BPM Bullets Per Minute. BPM is a roguelike rhythm first-person shooter game where all of your actions and the actions of your enemies are tied to the beat of our epic rock opera soundtrack. Everything you do in BPM is tied to the beat of the music. This includes shooting and reloading your weapon. See how satisfying that sounds? Your goal is to reach the end of our procedurally generated dungeons, collecting different weapons, abilities, and items each time you play. These weapons and abilities can radically alter the way you play, making each playthrough unique. As the enemies are also tied to the beat of the music, fighting them can become an epic rhythm battle, making you, the player, feel like you're taking part in the soundtrack itself through your actions. Clearing each room will reward you with loot. The better you handled clearing the room, the better the reward. Each floor has either an armory or a library, where you can buy cool new weapons or find exciting, game-changing abilities that make slaying enemies to the beat even more satisfying. You can also find shops to purchase useful items for your run. Unfortunately, you cannot pet the bird. Maybe next time though. Each floor has its own boss and attacks in a unique way that you must learn to exploit if you want to succeed. Finishing off a boss is a dramatic musical crescendo that you, the player, are in full control of executing. BPM is out now on PC, but is coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One this summer. We can't wait to see you slay the hordes of Helheim to the beat.
Hello, I'm Saul Davison.
And I'm Hannah Lee, and we are Humble Grove.
No Longer Home is a story game about graduating university and anticipating what comes next, while struggling with borders, self-identity, and longing for domesticity.
In No Longer Home, you play as non-binary protagonists Bo and Zhao, who are based off Cell and myself. You'll explore an intimate flat filled with everyday objects, delve into Bo and Zhao's thoughts and insights, and mold your interpretation of the characters through branching, multiple-choice dialogue.
The events in this game are based off our own experiences, and many of the characters and stories are based off people we know in real life. At the time, we were feeling disillusioned with education. Disoriented and not sure what to do next, Bo and Al try to figure out their place in the world.
Making this project, we wanted to celebrate the magic of everyday domestic mundanity, like having barbecues, playing video games, and staying up late just talking in bed.
Hannah and I started work on No Longer Home 6 years ago, after we graduated university. We met on the same course, and during the last year, we moved in together.
After graduation, I unfortunately had to go back to Japan. How do you say goodbye to a place? We started making No Longer Home as a way to stay in touch, but it rapidly grew as we realized how much we had to talk about and all the feelings we had to process. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. No Longer Home will be launching later this year, so please don't forget to wishlist on Steam.
Man, Origami 2 is looking so fantastic. I need some of that stealth action in my life.
Yep, and Fire Girl, that looks pretty unique too. Up next, we have some magic and swordplay popping off in the next segment with an update from a bona fide classic and a new entry in the hybrid puzzle and strategy realm. Guard your loot and upgrade your boots, because we're about to slap you in the face with a spike ball mace.
Bars.
Greetings, friends. Senior game designer Slim Grant here to talk about the Bard. Stylish and flamboyant, the Bard uses the magic of music to defeat their enemies and cure their allies. This twisting of song and magic created a versatile gameplay opportunity we felt was compelling enough to make this our next class. Whether dazzling their enemies with dancing lights, weaving in and out of the fray, or conducting a frenzied symphony of combat, the Bard never shies away from pulling out their instruments to string a few notes together. No matter what is needed, a Bard is always ready to take center stage and perform. And when the day is done, their enemies defeated, and their allies safe, the Bard becomes a source of entertaining ballads and jingles that recount their tales of triumph. With that, we have reached the last crescendo. But fret not, for we are not at the finale just yet. There is more to this ballad that will be revealed over the next few months, so please, stay tuned.
Hey everyone, I'm Miro, a developer from Straka Studio, a small Slovakian-based company that is working on a game called Loot River. Loot River is essentially an action roguelike which is about shifting dungeons around coming to Xbox and PC. And I would like to show you a new gameplay video which shows you the controls of the game, a procedural generation used in the game, shows you some areas, bit of combat, and perhaps a new thing or two that you didn't see in the trailer.
Okay, let's actually take it a bit slower. Let's start. I'll show you some controls. You can move your hero around with the left stick, responding to your pressure, and you can also dash and dodge on controller with the A button. And you attack with the right bumper. That's your standard attack. It now chains into combos. It used to be just like one attack before, but now it's like 1, 2, 3, fluidly changing into one another for a better feel of combat. You can also do a heavy attack, or what you could do is charge your heavy attack for special damage. Ooh, right? And there are many different weapons in Loot River, and each is useful in different scenarios and has different properties, and you can do different stuff with. Let's go to the first combat area now, the Sunken Village. It's the first area where you already need to navigate these platforms that we saw before, and you do it by standing on the platform and dragging it with the right stick, upwards, downwards, or in any direction you want. And let's approach these enemies up now and lure them onto our platform. Yeah, one by one, if you will. Or what we could do instead is just like charge right in and do some heavy attacks and hope for the best. But that's usually not the best idea unless you have a large weapon. So instead we could, always like isolate them into parts that we can manage, or we could skip them completely and go for the big guy here instead. It's very dangerous, so what I'm gonna do instead is just charge my attack and slam the platform into it, right, for special damage. You see, the levels of Loot River are procedural, but they are handcrafted at the same time. What we do is design lots of smaller areas with possible connections and then let the computer assemble them and look for logical relations in between them. So even from small pool of objects, we're already getting some interesting variations in the levels. Enemies evolve for combat on the platforms. Some can even lock platforms together, preventing you from sliding away until you defeat them, gaining your ability back. Others might wield long-range weapons, able to jump platforms or cause devastating damage. However, most of them have a weakness. Hairy enemies burn really well. You will visit many interesting places, obtain legendary weapons, meet unimaginable characters, fight them, and ultimately die by your hand. But those who persist can get even further, explore places never seen before, face horrors, and perish again.
Loot River really has me intrigued. I really like what they're doing with the combat and the Tetris-like platforming elements. So cool.
Yeah, and Demon Mirror has really great sound.
You're just, dude, you're just saying that because you worked on that game.
Yeah.
So what do we got coming up next?
Up next, we have some dark and sinister titles, starting with a physical release trailer of a gorgeous and deadly first-person action runner. Then we're jumping into a spoof on a beloved stealth classic and ending it with an exclusive trailer from our friends at Raw Fury.
Let's go.
Enough! I'll handle things from here on.
Ontaj od deda Ver. O Krautari abridi, e res infiniti. Uzul adi oscaridue. Os mesmos existem como absurda ad interruption. Muda em despres res bastante. Uzul adi oscaridue. Porco tescro. Veco homo porigi grenda dineas rapado aximes euc veco centunio oxistinde.
Oh no! An evil fog is corrupting every living creature! There is one that is immune. Who is this mighty hero? A slime? How can an adorable little slime fight against this? This? Or that? Wait, where did it get that sword? Is that a meteor shower? How? Icecraft? When did you get that? Now there are two of them? Alright, slimes can be heroes. Grab a friend and save the world from oozy monsters and formidable bosses. Discover different weapons and create your own magical abilities to express the way you want to adventure in Slime Heroes.
Demon Turn.
I'm so excited we could finally announce PS4 and PS5.
There's a lot of platforms.
Oh yeah, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, Steam, Epic Game Store. Oh.
Basically, you'll be able to play Demon Turf anywhere.
Yep, but what is Demon Turf exactly? Well, Lucy, take it away.
Sure. Still, her goal is to take on the Demon King, who pretty much owns his place. Tall order, right? And apparently he's been challenging her for a while now. Her best friend Midgie is also part of this epic quest. But enough of all that. Let's check out some gameplay, yo! Sizzle real time.
Beavis' moveset in Demon Turf has a lot of depth.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about combined moves to feel badass.
One of my favorite examples is this tower climb. The different ways you can skip so many parts of it.
Things really heat up though once you unlock the turf moves.
Oh yeah, yanking enemies around, rolling down highways,
soaring through the skies.
Combine it all and you get to see runs like these from our incredible speedrunning community.
It still blows my mind every time.
Beginner or pro, we hope to see you pull off some of these moves when Demon Turf releases sometime later this year.
Bring it on.
In 1972, a crack commando unit threw me in a prison for a crime I didn't commit.
You're under arrest for a crime you didn't commit! Hey, a coin! Hey, buddy, I have no paper.
Here you are.
You saved my ass, literally.
You stole a one-eyed man's patch? That patch turned out to be handy to create a lethal weapon. What were you gonna shoot? Pebbles? Depleted uranium balls. The sewer was infested with assassin rats. Felt like I was a huge chunk of cheese.
Who's there? Damn cat. Who's there?
Another cat!
Look! Landmines! Wait!
It's kill or be killed.
Hey, this is Matt, developer of Severed Steel, and I'm here to talk about some cool ways players have been playing the demo I released. So this level, you're typically supposed to kick that door open and deal with all the guys in the hallway. But players found a way to use the arm cannon to carve a hole to the left of the door like you saw, which gets you into this hallway. It's a little bit safer, and there's some nice weapons to find in there. A player did this cool thing where they throw their weapon down the hallway and then fight through the hallway. By the time we're at the end of the hallway, you're low on ammo or you're out of ammo, and you have a loaded weapon ready to go. When I first saw that, it blew my mind. I thought it was a super cool move. Players have been doing cool stuff with manipulating AI. So you saw I just got wrecked kicking down that door. But if I use the audio perception of the AI to kick a wall, lure them over, you can set up ambushes. That's really useful in the harder difficulties where, in the hardest difficulty, one shot kills you. So that's been a really useful technique. There's one stunt in the game that I didn't actually include in the tutorial, and that's the ability to jump and kick off walls. And on my Discord, players have been sharing really crazy footage where in rooms like this with a really high ceiling, they are jumping and kicking off enemies to get loads of airtime they can use to get really stylish kills. In the arcade mode, you get points for stylish kills, and getting that airtime and killing enemies upside down really can rack up your score. I didn't expect players would figure out more advanced stunts like this, but there's a lot of really cool footage of players doing stuff like that. I've been really thrilled with how players figured that out. And in one last clip, you could see some content that wasn't featured in the demo. A lot of players asked for enemy outlines to help discern them, so you can see I've added them here. And players asked for a double shotgun, which you see I'm rocking right now. I hope you enjoyed this preview of Severed Steel. It's slated for PC release late summer of this year, and if you like what you saw, definitely give it a wishlist on Steam. If you are a console player, there are also PlayStation 4 and Xbox One releases planned for shortly after PC. Thanks again.
Happens every day. Whether or not you part, no matter if you wait, but if you're bold and trying to find whatever waits, whichever end you play a part.
Thank you so much, Raw Fury, for that special exclusive footage. Up next, we have an exclusive reveal for one of the most bloodiest sprite-based action platformers I have ever seen. We will check in on a dark and beautiful pixel art RPG, help clean up a forensic nightmare, and then we're heading to an update from a mystical masterpiece from one of our Best of the Mix 2020 award winners. Grab your hazmat suit, Alex.
Oh, why?
Because we're about to go in and get grimy.
Let's do it.
Hello, my name is Jacek Głowacki and I'm the head of company development at Draw Distance. We're established by Bluebird team and we've just celebrated our 12th birthday. Our goal right now is to become a fully realized AA studio.
My name is Krzysztof Zięba. I'm a writer and game designer at Draw Distance. We make games with unique stories and visual styles, excellent soundtracks and captivating gameplay. We are known for our Vampire the Masquerade titles and Serial Cleaner. Our next game is its sequel, Serial Cleaners, a stealth action crime story set in 90s NYC.
My name is Miki Maika and I lead a team of 30 amazing game developers currently working on 3 different projects. Serial Cleaners is our biggest one so far and is set to launch later this year. We've got a good vibe and we're expanding, so come join us on our adventure to the 90s.
Hello, we are Monaco, and we're a small, very small studio from Cologne in Germany. And what you see before you is our very first game, a cinematic platformer called White Shadows.
So White Shadows is basically a modern Fable. It drops you off in this huge, weird, vertical world that is called the White City, even though it's really, really dark. And in this White City, there are the rats and the wolves, and they're in charge. And then there's the pigs and the sheep who do all the work. And then there's the birds who are, or at least so they say, to blame for a deadly pandemic.
And then there's you, little raven girl, trying to change all that. So basically, this game is not really a puzzle platformer, it's more of a trip.
It kind of drops you off in this really weird world, and if you imagine inside in Tim Burton having a really mean, weird little baby born in 1984, then you'd have this game.
It's black and white, it's dark, it has to do with a lot of stuff that is in our world today, and it's also really entertaining.
We, as the developers, think that's really funny, but people who've played it tell us that it's really, really dark. So you be the judge of that.
माँ दुर्गा, मुझे आपकी जरूरत है।
अपने दिल की सुनो राजी, तुम्हें शक्ति मिल जाएगी।
लड़ो राजू, योद्धा बनो।
Shout out to Raji. Congrats on winning Best of the Mix 2020. Such an awesome studio out of India, you know. Also, Bats is looking mad slick, if I don't say so myself. You know what I mean? But yeah, before we move on to the next segment, we want to say thanks to our broadcasting partners, Twitch, Steam, IGN, and of course, GameSpot. Thank you guys for all your help in hosting the stream.
Yep. And also don't forget to check out the Guerilla Collective event page on Steam to wishlist the games, play the demos from this event as well as from Wholesome Direct, which is coming up next. We have a link on the Guerilla Collective website, guerillacollective.com.
Up next, we're going to connect with our friends at Tiny Build. We're doing gargantuan things with really creative indie developers. Let's creep around the corner and say hello to our neighbor devs working with Tiny Build to peep what they have cooking up. Word.
Hello, Meatbag! This is my game, Despot's Game! I will give you a group of puny humans, and you will lead them to the end of the dungeon. If you can get past my cute little robots, zombie wombies, and flesh-eating cabbage wabbages. Despot's Game is a roguelike auto-battler. That means that all the fighting happens automatically. It also means permadeath and randomly generated dungeons. In order to win, your humans will need weapons, or whatever you can find to use as a weapon. Combine different kinds of dumb items to create your own dumb army. Your army needs to be positioned, fed, and genetically modified. Just don't get too attached to your little humans. They'll be dropping like flies. Let me tell you a little secret. If you make it far enough in the dungeon, you'll get the chance to fight other players! You probably think I came up with all this in order to raise a perfect army of mutated humans capable of conquering the universe, right? Wrong. I simply enjoy watching pathetic humans hit each other with refrigerators. You're in Despot's Game now! Config Games bears no responsibility for salty tears, broken keyboards, busted screens, or therapy expenses due to the effects of extended gaming sessions. Not recommended for use by children, pregnant women, or people who have loud conversations on their phones in public.
This is Dustin.
And this is Eric from Animal.
And we're the creators of Ramen.
Along with our extremely small team of passionate individuals, we're really excited to get this out to you.
Ramen's a food fighting arena game with a bunch of quirks and twists.
And today we're going to show you one of our favorite game modes, along with a new work in progress mode that we've been working on.
So let's start with the meatball mode.
Yeah, and meatball mode, it's all about putting the meat in the hole, the goal hole. You got to jump in and take control.
Like, what does that mean? It sounds good, but what does that mean?
Well, it's basically kind of like Katamari, where the objective is to jump into a giant meatball, take control of it, roll around, charge it up, and shoot it into various goal locations throughout the map. All while basically avoiding enemies and the onslaught of food that they throw at you. Next up, Bobo Ball.
Well, Bobo Ball is one of our newest work-in-progress game modes, but still a ton of fun. Players are now packing a Bobo Blaster that shoots Bobo Balls at a giant Bobo Ball.
Work together with your taste buds to blast the giant Bobo Ball into the opposing team's goal. But look, kills don't count in this mode, so prioritize getting the giant ball from A to B. But a few balls to the face never hurt anyone, so blast your foes to keep them from gaining control of the ball.
Blast your toes?
Foes.
Okay, bros, I guess. Wait, what's this written down about meat chassis?
We wrote that?
Yeah, it says, say something about meat chassis.
Oh, yeah, the old bag of meat and bones. You know, the players, the soup saviors. Players can customize their character almost however they want within our high-fashion, highly polished configurator zone.
Alright, well, within this configurator zone thing, when it comes to fashion, we got you covered with a trunk full of different culinary styles, vibes, and drips. Your soup slinger is yours to design and decorate. Honestly, the world is your oyster. Decorate to your heart's content.
Oh, and don't forget your old pop pal. I think it's time we wrap it up here.
Yeah, good idea. Thanks for tuning in to watch our video and giving us the opportunity to talk your ears off about ramen. Pretty excited about it.
Oh, and that being said, be sure to hop into our Discord so you can be part of the playtest and help us perfect the recipe of ramen.
Yeah, we hope you get a chance to play. We really appreciate all the support y'all have shown over the course of development. It really means a lot and motivates us. Bye. Thanks for stopping by.
Appreciate. Have a happy humble day.
Meet the creepy, AI-driven Mr. Peterson. This character has one mission, keeping you from discovering his secrets. Hello, and welcome to Hello Neighbor 2. In this game, you'll be playing as a local journalist named Quentin, who is suspicious of his creepy neighbor, Mr. Peterson. For those new to the Hello Neighbor franchise, this is Raven Brooks, the sort of town where everyone keeps to themselves and goes about their lives. Normally, you would too, except a bunch of people have gone missing. And there's just something strange about your neighbor, Mr. Peterson. Everyone is afraid of him. There have been rumors of children going to his house and never being heard from again. Some people say he likes to lock people up in his basement. But no one has any proof. So people just try to avoid Mr. Peterson, his odd house, and ignore the strange sounds coming from his basement at night. You have a feeling that Mr. Peterson is behind all of the neighborhood disappearances, but no one believes in your ideas and theories. And while you normally wouldn't break into someone's house, you're the only one who believes something is wrong and has the guts to uncover the truth. When you break into Mr. Peterson's house, you'll be going against an AI that is constantly evolving. Our goal for Hello Neighbor 2 is to provide unique player experiences. This is an experience that is driven by the community. Mr. Peterson's behavior is a combination of a neural network and algorithms that allow him to constantly learn from his experiences with everyone who plays our game. It begins with the collection of player activity. Mr. Peterson takes note of player behavior, whether or not most players are likely to hide in a closet, use a certain escape route, or certain objects. As time progresses and he learns, Mr. Peterson's behavior may change and surprise you. How Mr. Peterson plays in one encounter with you might be different from the next, all due to his encounters with the game's community as a whole. In this way, the community's experience with Mr. Peterson changes over time, allowing for an AI that is developed through community actions, replayability, and great stories of neighborhood shenanigans. But these new experiences go beyond Mr. Peterson. In Hello Neighbor 2, players can interact with all characters in Raven Brooks, and these characters share the same AI core, but behave differently and have their own stories for you to discover. So while you might think you're just playing the game, you're really contributing to the development and improvement of Mr. Peterson's AI. We hope this presentation of our AI and development gives you an idea of what to expect in Hello Neighbor 2. If you'd like to try an early access version of Hello Neighbor 2, you can wishlist the game on Steam and check out our alphas on the Microsoft Store. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the neighborhood.
Ahoy, sailors! Not this again. Trash Sailors Pirate Guide. Every pirate knows that the real treasure is friendship. Just kidding. It's trash. I love you, trash. It's everything. Fuel, building materials, and weapons. Seriously, just stuff in as much trash as you can and let her rip. Just remember, this raft is your only home. Take good care of it, and if anyone dares set foot here, hit them with all you got. Too many greedy lovers want to get their hands on our marvelous, beautiful trash. Defend it to your last breath and steer carefully. Oh, and don't forget to fix anything that breaks. Ah, scurvy bilge-sucking son of a seagull! If your enemies get close and the good old ship's cannons aren't enough, try the newfangled trash technology. You have countless aces up your sleeve. Use anything you get your hands on. They want to steal our trash? Let them try. We'll hit them with everything we got.
Shout out to Tiny Build. They are producing and publishing some of the most amazing indie titles coming out. Ramen is looking real fantastic.
Yep. And for our Guerilla Collective 2 finale, we're going to head out with an exclusive, humbling conversation that we had with Innersloth, the team behind Among Us, and check in on some fun and upbeat games, as well as take a trip back to the arcade with some fun retro throwback games.
And before we finish everything up, we are also going to go to an exclusive interview with our friends at Limited Run Games. Let's rock. Welcome back to the Guerilla Collective. We have Marcus Bromander and Adria Wallach from the Innersloth dev team. Super happy to have you guys hopping on the Guerilla Collective for an interview. Tell us about yourselves.
I'm Marcus, also known as Puffballs United. I'm one of the co-founders of Innersloth. I worked on a lot of the art, the sound design, game design, and miscellaneous other spots in the game, but no coding.
Hi, I am Adriel. I'm the lead programmer at Innersloth, which means I live in the code, I make a bunch of lists, I tell the other programmers what to do, and I fix bugs.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the team and go into what you have in store for the game. But first, I want to ask you a couple of questions about the team and how you're moving forward. So first of all, for people who don't know, where did your studio name Innersloth come from, and who is repping the team?
So when we first formed our company, me and Forrest, we were trying to come up with a name and we were kind of just stuck. So we went on a random name generation site and just like click through. And Inner Sloth just kind of felt, for me, it was like, I have the motivation to make stuff, but like the inside of me is kind of lazy, it's hard to get motivated sometimes. So that the sloth really stuck to me there.
You know, some people think that success is overnight, but you have all been grinding to make things happen with such a small team. What have some of the challenges been during the growth and iterative development of the game been?
I would say, just in general, going from 3 people to we're at 8 now, I think, is such a different work environment completely. Like getting everyone on the same page is something we're still learning how to do. Meetings have to start happening. You can't just tell. I'm used to telling one person and then things go from there. And now I have to make sure to tell everyone and I have to learn how to write design docs. I can't just have it in my head and tell people.
That's dope. And you've been like an integral part of the indie community with helping out early on, with the mega booth and then really orchestrating Train Jam and been involved in so many projects. How has it I understand how you kind of joined the team. How has it been on the opposite end of communicating with Marcus and everybody on the team?
It's been fun. It's been fun to be sort of in that transition from the small team to what is quote unquote the larger team now. Not that 8 is huge or anything, but I was the 5th person. So I was like right at that tipping point from it being small enough where you could just tell one person one thing and then everybody knows everything, to now it's like you have to make sure we're tagging all the right people in our work channels and like getting information out. And yeah, I came on towards the end of last year through a mutual friend who was like, hey, Inner Sloth needs more programmers, because at that point it was just Forrest as the programmer, and I was like, all right, I'm in. And then yeah, rest is history. But it's been really fun getting to sort of grow the programming team as well and take at least some of the pressure off of Forrest to be the only person doing that kind of stuff and being able to do more output and get things out there faster.
So you've had notable celebrities. You've had AOC, just mad people streaming it, and now it's really ingrained into pop culture. What are some of the most surreal, defining moments that have been heartwarming or have left an impact on the team since its original release until now?
Just all of the fan art that comes in and all the fan animations, music videos, remixes, just so much amazing stuff. We have a channel in our Discord that we just post all this stuff, and it's just empowering, gives us motivation to keep going.
You've really been maintaining the life of the game with really interesting updates and drops. What can you share with everyone on Twitch watching during the Guerilla Collective that is next for Among Us?
Yeah, we do have 15 players coming, which means we do need more colors because there's only 12 in the game. And so we're going to add 6 new colors. I don't know if that's been announced, but
I feel like we could say that we did at one point have a color named Barf that is not going to be released. So
what is that? It's like a speckled yellow or something?
Like a greenish yellow.
Yeah, imagine mashed up peas, mashed up peas that you would feed a baby.
Wow.
Or the barf emoji, just that color.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I for one am disappointed that we don't have Barf in the game, but
me too. I was a big champion for Barf.
Yeah, bring back Barf.
So no Barf?
No Barf.
How do you come up with because it seems interesting that you're just talking about, having the Barf colors. How do you come up with these different designs and ideas?
The colors are super hard. We're trying to move away from having colors be the main identifier for each character.
Cool.
So we want to lean more into cosmetics and names. So, but we still want to make them, at least to begin with, make them as distinct as possible. So I have to like pull up all the colors we have and then think about like, look at the color wheel and go, okay, maybe we don't have anything in this little zone. I'll try something here. And I compare them together and it's like, this one does look really similar to blue, or like I could see this one getting mixed up with purple or something. But eventually we're just gonna have to kind of move away from that and not worry about it as much.
It's awesome to have you guys. Thank you guys for, joining us for this. Is there anything that you want to tell the fans? Because there's going to be a lot of people probably watching this who want to know about something straight from the team.
I mean, just thank you. That's the one that's just always there. Thank you for playing. Thank you for liking the game.
Yeah, it's the same sentiment here. It's great. It's mind-boggling to be working on a game that this many people play and get like such an enjoyment out. Like I get texts from friends who are like, "Oh, my 12-year-old was playing with his friends and was bragging about knowing that his mom knows you," and I'm just like, "Oh."
That is awesome. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. It's been amazing, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. King of the Hat is coming to Steam. King of the Hat is coming to the moment you've all been waiting for. Which means that you can wishlist the game. If you wishlist the game right now, you can win. You can win a washing machine.
Success.
And if you wishlist the game right now, you can win a sticker.
Damn.
Oh my god! Wow! Which is the game? You might be entered into a contest. You might be able to spin every wheel. Which is the game? Which is the game? Open up Steam, hit the button, do it for yourself. Do it to get back at your enemy. Hit the button and win! King of the Hat, which is the game right now? Have fun.
crime is illegal.
Well, not anymore, thanks to Whitewater Wipeout by Chuhai Labs.
Thanks to Whitewater Wipeout, I can finally commit the cool crime of surfing, featuring pure NAR style and conviction. What does that even mean?
It's a playdate game.
Yeah, Jeff? Yeah, I'm on set. I have no idea what the the script is. No, I'm not gonna hold.
I'm Mihoko. I play Whitewater Wipeout.
At King Wash Laundry, we pride ourselves on providing years of garment cleaning excellence. Our customers come for the top-of-the-line deluxe washing machines, but they stay for our professional service. Now pick up the clothes and load them into an empty machine. Wait a few minutes, then transfer to a dryer. While you're waiting, make sure to pick up discarded coffee cups and throw them in the trash. Thank you for choosing Arcade Mania. If you want to level up your takings and grow your arcade, just follow our simple 3-step plan. 1. Play your new game and set a killer high score. 2. Now watch as customers drop quarters trying to beat your score while you sit back and make fat profits. 3. Use your takings to buy a brand new cabinet from Arcade Mania. Just use your personal computer to surf the internet and you can order online. Now just wait for your new purchase to arrive and do it all again. Play, profit, purchase. Play, profit, purchase. Play, profit, pest control, purchase! With these steps, your arcade is guaranteed to grow and expand into a glorious arcade paradise full of our biggest hits. Good luck, and always choose Arcade Mania. Always use the brush for particularly stubborn waste matter. All that remains to be said is, welcome to King Wash Laundry.
I am here with Douglas Bogart from Limited Run Games. What is happening, Doug?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, it's so awesome that Limited Run, has reached its 5-year anniversary. Can you tell the people about Limited Run Games? If folks that aren't familiar with it.
Yeah, so Limited Run Games, we started the company with my co-founder Josh Fairhurst. We started in October 2015 as a response to his dev company, Mighty Rabbit Studios, having trouble staying in business. We were off of a big project and we didn't have a whole lot of work to do, so we were like, how do we stay in business? And then his biggest thing was we had one game on Vita called Breach and Clear, and he was like, it'd be cool to at least preserve this game even if nobody wants it, so that way I have some proof that I did something and it's not all digital. So we did that, and we sold the game in October, and it sold out in 108 minutes, and kind of blossomed from there. Got contacted by Epic, Oddworld, WayForward, started really pulling in the partners, and we've done over, I think close to 700, 800 individual releases now.
That is wild. Super crazy, man. What is one of the highlights of your career at Limited Run Games? What you've done?
Yeah, there's a lot. So we had a wish list of things we wanted to do originally, and we ended up doing all of those. But I'd probably say one of our biggest things is Scott Pilgrim, because that was one of the founding pillars of what we wanted to do. And then for personally, working with Suda on No More Heroes was a huge deal for me. Working with John Romero on Sigil, doing Command & Conquer with EA. We've just done a whole lot of cool stuff that I never thought we'd be able to, and I've talked to a lot of heroes I've always had, and it's I don't know, the Jay and Silent Bob game is a huge deal for me. Without Kevin Smith, Josh and I would never have mended a friendship that we had briefly broken up when we were young. So,
what I think is really interesting is just your idea of doing things in that, in a limited quantity. Can you kind of talk about how
like what kind of different packages that you guys put together?
Yeah, so when Limited Run started off, we were definitely very limited, and the reasoning for that was, one, it costs a lot of money and resources to do it, and we didn't want to be stuck with overstock because we can't afford to just sit on a product that takes years to sell out.
Yeah, for sure.
We started off with limited stuff, and as we got bigger, we decided with Switch, like, hey, we have no idea what the audience is here. Why don't we try open pre-orders? And that worked out really well. And then with the pandemic hitting, we were like, you know what, let's just do this for most of our stuff going forward. And I think the reception's been a lot better. So we're limited in like the amount of time basically now versus the amount of unit, which I think is a better approach because it gives people a chance to get it, and it's not so much that like, oh, I missed out. I mean, people still miss out, but now we work with places like Best Buy, Amazon, and GameStop, and some of our games are available at retail, which is another cool thing for our developers because, you know, as when you're younger, you're like, man, I wish one day my games could be on the store shelf, and now they can.
That's so cool.
And yeah, then we offer vinyl, we do collector's editions, we do press kits for companies, we do a whole lot of stuff now that's pretty amazing. We're always looking to expand. We're doing the retro stuff like we did for Jay and Silent Bob. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm really happy with the stuff we've been able to do. Pretty much any idea here, you know, if an employee or coworker has an idea, it's like, why don't we run with it and see what happens and just test it out? Because you know what, if you like it, maybe there's an audience for it.
You guys have an event coming up. Can you plug it real quick? I think everybody should watch it. Talk about your upcoming releases and stuff.
We're doing our own E3 presentation called LRG3. It's going to be on June 14th at 4 p.m. Eastern. And we got a whole bunch of cool games in the lineup that we're excited about. The show's being produced by one of the gentlemen from Mega 64 on his own. So it's got the same similar humor. And I don't know, we just watched actually the draft of the video and it's really funny. And I'm kind of shocked actually that it came together so well.
That is so awesome. I hope everybody could check that out, you know. Where can we find you, more information about Limited Run Games and everything that you guys are doing?
Yeah, go to our website, limitedrungames.com. There's a mailing list option. Our Twitter, we update frequently at Limited Run Games. We have a Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/limitedrungames. Pretty much any website you go to, just add /Limited Run Games. You might find us. I think at one point we even had like a Tumblr account, so we were everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a Pinterest account. I don't know.
Dope. Well, thank you so much, Doug. It's awesome to see you guys flourish. Happy 5th anniversary, and everybody go check out LRG3, right?
Yep. Thank you so much.
For sure. Talk to you later.
Later, man.
The Inner Sloth team was so humble, and they've had such a great journey. Congrats to them. Also, Limited Run Games coming up on their 6th year. They've been 5 years strong, working with indie developers to get their games out in a limited capacity in a physical kind of space, you know? So many great games and devs that have blessed the Guerilla Collective this year. Shout out to them, and thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, and be sure to check out the Guerilla Collective event page on Steam, where you can learn more about these games, buy the games that are available now, or add the games to your wish lists for the games that have not been released yet. Wish lists help, so do it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
We also want to thank everybody who was involved to making this production possible. Wilmer Sound, of course. Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you.
It's so great to be in this space. The mix team, of course, AV Society, Timmy, Code 32, Fully Illustrated, everybody that has contributed. Also, thanks once again to our sponsors and broadcasting partners for their support. GameSpot, Twitch, IGN, and Steam. You guys are awesome for hosting the stream. Also, we want to shout out to our sponsors: Good Shepherd, Humble Games, Tiny Build, PlayStation, Xbox, Kickstarter, Razer, Astro Gaming, our fellow devs and publishers, Two Awesome Studio, Akupara Games, All In Games, Goblin Studio, Graffiti Games, Head Up, Hype Train Digital, Neon Doctrine, Raw Fury, Thunderful, and Whitethorn Games. That wraps up the Guerilla Collective 2. Such a fun time with developers worldwide and awesome partners. Thank you for joining us. We truly appreciate it.
Yes, and before we head out, we're going to show the Wholesome Direct trailer and come back with our friend, Jenny Wyndham.
Stay
tuned. This is going to be something else. I was like, wait.
such a cozy and warm trailer. That was very nice.
It was really, really nice. Sweet. We have our friend Jenny Wyndham, aka Kim Chica, on the line to get started with the Wholesome Direct. Hey Jenny, how is it going?
Yes. Okay. So, gonna stop this here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me see if I can pause this in the background.
Exclusive footage, developer interviews, and it's just going to be a wonderfully cozy time. So hope you all enjoy it.
So much, Jenny, for joining us. Looking forward to checking out the show. That wraps up the Guerilla Collective 2. I am your host, Justin Woodward, with Alex Woolner. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Guerilla Collect, not Guerilla Collect.
Okay, there we go. I was trying to mute the background stream. Yeah, well, that was actually pretty interesting. I do want to thank you guys for joining us. We will be back in I want to say less than 20 minutes or around that time frame, because we will be streaming, I believe, what they just mentioned actually, Wholesome Direct. It's gonna be more indies coming up as well with that. I think it starts at 1 p.m. So if you have to go somewhere, get some food, get some snacks, definitely come back. But beyond that, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was mentioned in this video, which I think is pretty cool, because I love indie games. I'm actually really excited for a lot of the ones that were presented earlier on. Wild police. I am not a wild police. Yes, I was here the whole time. I was just in the background. But yeah, definitely stay tuned. We'll be back in a little bit. I'm gonna end this stream in just a sec. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was mentioned that I'm really excited for. And I'm just curious to see what the next Wholesome Direct has to show us, because it's gonna be way more indies, and that's definitely my genre. That's why I chose to stream this. Because I mean, come on, who doesn't want to run around and be a firefighter and put out fires, or be like a kitsune ninja sort of thing? So yeah, definitely love that. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you so much once again for watching, and I appreciate you, and as well as all of us here at Gamerish. If you are not already following us, please definitely check our socials. We're gonna be streaming E3 stuff pretty much the whole month, because I'm pretty sure stuff spills over into July sometimes. So definitely check that out as well. I don't have a fancy outro for you guys, because I usually don't do the streaming stuff myself. But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here.